Boom, 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 man. So, yeah, I love that. I just love the bookend. So, shout out to everybody who've been following us and rocking with the program. It's a wet, soggy Friday here in the Midwest, and if you're in the Kentuckiana area and you're close, we've got a big fireworks show, one of the largest in the country going on. Is Thunder of Louisville. It's pretty cool with firefighter jets and everything, and it's like a 3 hour like boom, 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 boom. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, it's something else. So it should be a good time, and it kicks off all of the Derby festivals, because then there's a parade, and then there's the Derby itself. Everybody comes in town, and this place goes crazy. So, yeah, do what you will with that. Right now, yeah, and you know what's crazy? We're gonna get to our final story, and we did our recap. So, recap. Okay, so we talked about the baggage of Jim Harbaugh and how now he's cooperating with the NCAA, and Michigan is going to receive some infractions, but they're not going to be major. So we're just waiting for the shoe to drop on that. Also, we talked about Tybo Rogers and the cover up at Washington and how they knew about his crimes, and they still let this kid play football. Again, it is disgusting. It is heartbreaking to hear. That was the recap. However, I wanted to just say I'm not a social media person, and that's weird. I'm not a social media person. This is just a form of social media that I do, but I don't have an Instagram. I don't have a Facebook. I don't have an X or Twitter. I don't do Snapchat. I don't do TikTok. I don't do any of that. And my life is better for it. My life is better for it, because I'm not a person who follows these people ad nauseum, and I have to know. I'll chill out. I'll watch TV, might watch a movie, might watch a game or something. I just live my life. I don't really do the whole social thing. And when people do run into me, it's usually in a photo bomb situation. Like somebody say, "Oh, I seen you at," and then I'm just like, "Okay, I was walking by." And there's a photo of the people who were taking a picture, and I'm just walking by. So I'm a notorious photo bomber. I don't pose or anything in these people's pictures. I just mind my business and keep walking. But I'm not like, I don't think that I'm aware of my surroundings, because I'll stop at the same moment that they're taking a picture. And then it's just like, hey man, you were in that photo. So there's some wedding albums of a 6'2" black guy just walking around. And there's a family like, who the hell is that dude? All right, man. Good stuff. Funny stuff. I don't know. Friends point that out to you. A lot of friends point that out to you. Like, hey man, I tried to look for you on social media and I couldn't find you. And I was like, yeah, because I'm not there. And everybody's like, you're kidding me. How do you? I was like, I'm not, that's not me. But anyway, Renaissance man, I'm a caveman. That's what I tell my daughter. That's what I tell everybody who runs into me. Look, I'm a caveman. I spend cash. I don't know anything about most of this stuff. I had one of my guys explain to me Apple Pay, and he's like, "You've never activated your wallet." I was like, "Not once." All right, so Justin Jefferson does the Gwitty on the Vikings and skips voluntary workouts until he gets a bigger bag. And I understand that. That's real. Plus, anytime you put voluntary in front of something, you have the right not to go. It shouldn't be a story. But Yahoo Sports and Frank Schwab decided other words. Because if you, in your job right now that you work, if your boss said, hey, look, there's voluntary overtime, I'm not going to go ahead and take it. And every job that I've had up until the one that I'm in currently, I've always heard the phrase mandatory overtime. So the fact when you say voluntary, there are going to be a good number of people that won't go. I digress. Jefferson is looking for a contract extension that is likely to set the record for a wide receiver, perhaps in the NFL period, and it's going to rival any position that's not quarterback. Again, let me say that the QB situation is overrated severely in the NFL. Instead of making it rain on a QB, spending the money elsewhere, that would be me, because I would go ahead and do the wide receiving core. I would do the linebacking core. I would do the O-line, D-line, the corners, running backs. I mean, I would take care of everybody. The last person I'm paying on my NFL team is a quarterback. And because they're always around. They're always around. If Cam Newton can sit up here and call guys game managers, he just gave the game away. He said there's more game managers than game changers, and he gave you his criteria for game managers. So if that's the case, I need to beef up the personnel because the guy behind me is not a game changer. Now, I have put guys in the elite category, and I have a criteria. And if you win your division, you're a good quarterback. If you go to the playoffs, you're a great quarterback. If you make it to the Super Bowl and win, you are elite. You are elite. There's only one elite quarterback in the NFL right now, which that is Patrick Mahomes. And that's based on my criteria. Everybody else is good, and a lot of people are great. Once you win the AFC Championship game, you are great. Everybody else is good. And then there's one guy who's just special because he's breaking records along the way. And he's been to the playoffs. He's won his division. And so that makes him special. Okay? All the rest of these guys are just good quarterbacks and great quarterbacks. So if I know that's the landscape, I'm going to build up my running backs. I'm going to build up my offensive line, my defensive line. I'm going to build the linebacking core. I'm going to make sure year in and year out, I've got the bodies in place to make things happen. Quarterback, yeah, go ahead. Quarterbacks are at the back of the line with the kickers. Quarterbacks at the back of the line with the kickers. And perception is reality because you got to have somebody to throw to. And if I got a bad quarterback, at least I can come up with a game plan if I have a solid surrounding supporting cast. That's how you got to approach football. Now, the Vikings head coach, Kevin O'Connell, he told the media Monday, we want him here as much as we can have him, but also understand there are a lot of factors involved, which is shut your mouth, don't talk on my bag, I'm trying to get paid. These are voluntary. But when you have Kirk Cousins, who is now robbing the Atlanta Falcons without a mask and a gun, not saying that Kirk didn't deserve any of his money because Kirk plays, he put his life on the line and he put his family, like he said, he put his family on his back and this is how he's going to provide. Not saying that, but what I'm sitting there saying is his age. He's not going to live out that contract. And a contract that they went ahead and they gave him and they rewarded him that kind of money. Okay, I'll hear that, but let's just be real. He's not really going to go ahead and turn the Falcons around. Justin Jefferson, on the other hand, in Minnesota, you now have a QB you have to go ahead and get to jail with. So, y'all got to get y'all's timing down and these kind of things. And I'm not sitting there saying that you should be at a voluntary workout because you've got the right to turn it down. I'm just saying you want to be prepared as possible in case any of these things happen. There you go. What are those factors? that Kevin O'Connell's talking about. The factors include the 9 figures that Jefferson is likely to get very soon on his second contract. It's not a big deal that Jefferson isn't with them. He's also skipped the voluntary part of the Vikings offseason in 2023. Though he showed up for the mandatory minicamp, it remains to be seen if he'll be at the mandatory minicamp this season when the pressure is on to get a new deal done. So he's doing what he's got to do. And if he's never showed up, he didn't show up last year, so why is it news this year? There's more riding on the line this year than it was last year. But again, when you say voluntary, nobody's going to come. He showed up to the mandatory minicamp. He'll probably show up this year to the mandatory minicamp. But right now, when these workouts are voluntary, like I say, from a gelling standpoint and you getting timing down with a guy, y'all can do that away from the facility. Because he's tied to my money. He's tied to my money. So it is in my best interest to go ahead and get with this guy, stay in his pocket, and then tell him, hey, look, this is my calls. These are my tells. This is how I catch the ball. This is where I need to be at. You know, this is the time of the game where you need to look for me on this play. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. Jefferson, he's got 5,899 career yards, the most for any wide receiver through his first 4 NFL seasons. He's also won NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 2022. He's arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL, and he's going to get paid like it. I got no problems with any of that. No problems with any of that. But that is our show. That's our show. It's a good weekend. Great weekend. Great weekend to go out. Spring is coming around. Hope you and the family do your thing. We love everybody here at App Stupid, and we'll be back Monday with more content. This is Big Vern, and I'm out.